This happened many millennia ago because in the mountains they call him Shiva. We'll go by that name when he is there. When he comes south, we will call him something else. There was a young woman in the southernmost tip of India, which is today known as Kanyakumari, which is… we always say Kashmir to Kanyakumari because this is supposed to describe the spread, the latitudinal spread of this nation. So Kanyakumari, even today, there is a temple for Kanyakumari. The story behind is this, her name was Punyakshi. She was like an oracle for the local population, who tells them when the rains will come, who tells them about the crops, who tells them about various things that may happen in that society. So she's a very valuable oracle for them. But she fell in love with Shiva, okay? No WhatsApp. You must be wondering, the children, the young girls are wondering, how did she fall in love from Kanyakumari to Himalayas? Was she messaging him? No, no phone, no WhatsApp, no message, no Instagram, nothing. Just like that, hearing about him. So many stories wafted down this subcontinent and reached her ears. She imagined him, she created a virtual reality. See, I want you to understand this. People are thinking virtual reality is a new technology. What I'm telling you is, your entire life is a virtual reality because you are seeing life only the way it happens in your mind, isn't it? Right now you think you see me, but actually what's happening is this light is falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted image in the retina. You are seeing me only the way I'm projected in the firmament of your mind. So you have a virtual reality going. Everything that you experience, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch is just like this. You know it only the way it happens within you. You don't know how it really is, in the sense, you don't even know which is light and darkness. If you sit with an owl, what's an owl in Hindi? Ullu. People here, I think in North India, people think an owl is a stupid bird, yes? If somebody is stupid, you say ullu. But that is not the understanding everywhere. In many cultures, people think owl is a very wise bird because it simply sits there, looking at everything like this. So, owl is considered a symbol of wisdom. If you sit with an owl and start an argument as to which is light and which is darkness, endless argument, isn't it? You never can decide who is right because being a democratic nation, if we go for a vote, all the creatures which see night as light and day as darkness, their numbers are more. Hands down, they'll win the election. Yes or no? More creatures come alive in the night than in the day on this planet. So, even what is light and darkness is just your reality, it is not the thing. Everything in the universe is like this, your sense organs are opened up only the way it is necessary for your survival. Every other creature has their sense organs as it is necessary for their survival. But now, she is in Kanyakumari and she falls in love with somebody who is in Himalayas, just hearing about him, because if you ever fall in love, you know what happens in your mind is 99%, what actually happens is 1%. Hello? As long as you know how to direct this virtual reality, your love affair is going great. When you start observing what is happening in that 1%, you are in trouble. Yes, this happened. You okay for a story inside a story? I'm trying to use my great-grandmother's methodology. Story inside a story, inside a story, inside a story. So story inside a story. One day, Adam, you heard of this guy? Adam? Adam came home very late in the night. So Eve was very angry and suspicious. Where have you been? She started investigating. After enduring some amount of investigation, he said, "Come on, where would I go? You are the only woman on the planet. Where do you think I would have gone?" Then she said, okay, she became all cuddly and happy, and they went to bed, she snuggled up and slept. After he completely fell asleep, she slowly counted the ribs. You're not getting it. What do? You're not getting it. Ladies are getting it, others are not getting it. She counted the ribs just to find out if he has used one more rib. Oh, it's gone. So, she fell in love with Shiva and she did not blow kisses, she threw her heart away, northward. Somehow Shiva caught it. And though he was an ascetic, a yogi, but married, but this heart was so vibrant, he could not say no. So he started moving south, almost like being drawn, because one dimension of Shiva is that he is a bole. That is, he is innocent and has no intention or determination about anything, whichever way it draws, he goes that way. This heart was so intense, he simply started moving south. The community around Punyakshi did not like this because they knew if she gets married, she will go away and they will lose an oracle, a very valuable person in their society. So they tried to convince her in so many ways, but she has already thrown her heart away. So what to do? Either she has to go, but she is a young woman, instead of that she is waiting for the rubber band effect to bring Shiva here. Can I tell one more story inside a story? Now you guys are not getting, you can't even count ribs, what to do with you? So story inside a story. This is stupid to explain it's a story inside a story, you should not, you must figure it out. On a certain day, a yogi who was over 80 years of age wanted to go up Velangiri mountains to see the abode of Shiva up there. But he was over 80 years of age and it's a very steep, hard climb. Even if you are young and fit, it will take a certain amount of exertion to get there. And then people who are at the foothills, who are running small shops, who are selling bidis and plastic things and this and that stuff, these are sitting at the foothills all their life, but they never went up. These are that kind of people. They are there to make a living. They saw this over 80-year-old yogi wanting to go up Velangiri hills, and they said, "Hey, old man, you are not going to go up this mountain. This is very steep and hard to climb, you will not make it. Just settle down here. There's a little temple here, settle down here. You are not going to go up there." So the yogi looked at them. These are all danda people. They don't understand what it means to go up anywhere. They're just trying to make a living. He said, "See, it's not about me going up or not going up. It's just that my heart is already gone there. The rest of the body will just catch up one way or the other." So Punyakshi is in that state, but being a young woman, she is dignified, she doesn't want to go, she wants him to come. And he being little mindless, he's mindless. Mindless does not mean mad. because madness can only happen in the mind. One who is mindless is absolutely sane. Yes. Madness can only happen in your mind, isn't it? If you don't have a mind, where is the problem of madness? There never will be a problem of madness in your life. So he is mindless, and when he sensed the intensity of this heart, he just started moving south. Then the local community started devising all kinds of obstacles to see that they don't lose their oracle. But he starts coming south and he's coming closer and closer, the information is coming that he's getting close. So these people went halfway up, met him up there and said, "You cannot marry this girl." But he was in no mood to even listen. He just kept going south. Then they said, "See, if you want to marry our girl, you must bring some items missing. Where's the sugar cane?" Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So they said, "You must bring sugar cane." You know, this is sugar cane. Without these rings, without knots. It's in the nature of this, that always there will be knots, more or less, but they have to be there. This is the way this is made. So they said, "You must bring sugar cane without knots." And they said, "You must bring a coconut without ice." In the south, they say once you remove the fiber that is there, once you remove it, this coconut is like Shiva, it has 3 eyes. So they said you must get a coconut which has no eyes. This is very vital for the coconut to sprout, but they want a coconut which doesn't have eyes. And they wanted a betel leaf which doesn't have vines, that is, it doesn't have these vines in it. So, what they're asking is essentially some impossible conditions so that he will fail and go back. They're saying, "This is the bride price for our girl." So, out of his occult, he went into his occult dimension and produced sugar cane without knots, a coconut without eyes, and a betel leaf without veins in it. They looked at this and they said, "This is unnatural." He laughed and he said, "You are very unnatural, because you are the one who asked for such things. You are very unnatural people. So let me save this girl from you guys." And he started moving south. So just 24 hours away, they set a deadline. Before sunrise on the next morning, you must come and the wedding should be over. So for the wedding they prepared, all food was cooked and everything ready. Punyakshi is all dressed and waiting. In Tamil Nadu, there is a culture of always weddings being before sunrise at 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, weddings happen. You must also start this in Delhi, you will avoid all the traffic problems. And on those wedding days, making misery for everybody else who's going to work all this will go if you do early morning 4 o'clock weddings. In Tamil Nadu, weddings are like that. So they said, before sunrise, you must arrive and the wedding should be over. Food is cooked, everything is ready, people are waiting and she is waiting. If you cross sunrise time, it's over, the muhurtam is over, you cannot marry the girl. So he was coming and very close. He was in a… today this place is called as Suchindram. When he came to that place, what they did was, it was this kind of season, November, December, when it's misty. If you do not know this is something you must experience, you might have seen in the hills, that when it is misty to a certain extent, when the water particles in the air is at a certain density, if you light a fire like this on a mountain, it looks like the whole mountain is on fire, because every molecule of water acts like a prism and multiplies the fire millionfold and makes it so large. So knowing this, at an appropriate distance, they set up a fire with camphor, and when the fire burned, it looked like the sun has risen. An orange flame went up in the mist. So when Punyakshi saw this, that the sun has come up and Shiva has not come, she said, "This is it, he has abandoned me." And she left her body, standing. Even today, in the temple she is standing, looking looking with a certain expectation, standing, she left her body. In a certain sense of pride and a bit of anger, she left her body. When this came to Shiva, he was at Chutindram, and then he was totally despondent and frustrated that he could not fulfill such a simple need of hers, and he turned back. And then he came to Velangiri hills, and on top of the mountain he spent over 3.5 months. It is in the tradition of this culture, wherever Shiva spent one cycle of moon, that place will be referred to as Kailash. So even today, the Velangiri hills is referred to as Kailash of the south.